Welcome everyone, it's June 18th and this is the weekly edition for Hawking Alpha of Where's Your Stop? And this past week in the Hawking Perspective we talked a lot about essentially oil, as that's been in the news lately, and we've had a few people that have asked us about it. So got to make this easy to start out with by just looking at USO as a representation of oil. Now that is more West Texas than it is actually crude light in terms of the futures contract, but nonetheless it gives us a representation of the generic price action that's been going on in oil and its appreciation. So yeah, the first signal that we'd got, back a while back was in December of 2013, and so ever since then we've just continued to move our stop up. You can tell staying outside of the noise. This point all the way back to this point, these common price points. And then essentially stepping up as price volatility and volume has essentially continued to move to the upside in a very uniform manner of higher highs and higher lows. I mean, it's the definition of a trend, right? So the biggest thing, though, is the fact that we can see that oil has basically come into this last supply point in 2013. It'll be interesting if we actually get above that. The biggest thing that I want to point out, though, is essentially that oil was basically one of the greatest trend capturing trades of this century. In terms of the upside from 2007 to 2008, and then from all the way to the downside. And then ever since that downside crash, where we, went all the way from 110 down to 30, oil's done nothing but just stay in this absolute sideways range. And so everybody that made a significant amount of capital in here, their systems on oil definitely have been sideways and have been whipsawed. Our short eventually did get out in 2011, and then now we have essentially, had three different opportunities of going short and going long, and this has been our last signal. This has been the most uniform move up in oil, so we'll see how it works out. Probably won't see significant appreciation in oil until we were to actually break above that 45 area. And so we'll see what happens with that. Let's take a gander here at crude light. Essentially, crude light showing the exact same thing. In terms of this macro perspective, a little bit more volatile because it is the futures contract, but we can see as we narrow down here into the daily section, that once again, same pretty much entry point, same points that we've been outside of, higher highs and higher lows. So we'll see where oil takes. Right now we have geopolitical tension. Normally that's not enough to, surprisingly, to be able to take oil to the heights that we saw in 2007 and 2008. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call or send us an email. Anything else that you'd want to look at, don't hesitate to ask as well. And we look forward to talking with you next week to helping you stay outside the noise.